Greetings, family. Greetings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Shiatamo. Peace to my gods and earths of the 5% nation. Wagwan. Sakpase. Que pasa? What's up? What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Grunt TV. I'm your host, Malik Shabazz, and I want to welcome you all. But before I even go any further, please share, and mash that like button, alright? So we can get this information out. This is just going to be a quick little video. I'm going to get into more details and more depth on the next one, but I wanted to just bring this up before I talk about what I want to talk about. I just first want to apologize to all my listeners and viewers out there who were able to view the interview I did with Brother Karaja Hashar of Blackstone Publishing. That the Zoom video, it was I was having some technical difficulties with the Zoom, and I couldn't get my picture up there, but I think I got it. So, but this one is going to be, I got it, I'm using the camera this time, I'm not using the Zoom. But that's that, so again, my apologies. But other than that, the interview was a great interview. And for those who haven't seen it, you should check it out. And if anybody out there is interested in publishing a book, poetry, fiction, non-fiction, or whatever, holler at Brother Karaja up in Blackstone Publishing, and he will hook you up. All right. That said, I also want to make clear that this particular podcast, this podcast, basically, its objective is to promote and defend socialism, because socialism is the only system that will bring balance to this planet. Alright, so that said, now check this out. The reason I do this real quick little video, and like I said, I'm gonna get into it a little bit more in depth, right? On the next one, because I didn't get a chance to fully prepare, because there's a lot of information that I'm trying to figure out how to lay it out in a brief time. But anyway, I was watching this a little talk by this economist. His name is Jeffrey Sachs. He's been around for a long time. I just recently ran into his name, and I've been listening to some of his stuff. When I first heard him talk, I said, oh, this guy's pretty interesting. A white cat, from Harvard University. And he don't teach there, but I think he went to school there. But anyway, he was saying some stuff that caught my attention, because to me, truth is truth. Like Malcolm said, no matter who tells it, truth is truth. So I don't care if it's a white person, a black person, a Chinese person, a Boricua, a Dominican, a Cuban, whatever. Truth is truth. So if I see melanated people, violating, laws that's, like just doing some nasty stuff against other people, I will stand against the people that are being abused, because I'm not down with any abuse. I don't care who it is. But anyway, so I'm watching this thing, and it blew my mind, because this is how the ancestors work. Sometimes something comes to you and you're like, yo, this is exactly what I've been talking about. So in my book, I don't know if you can see let me see if I can get it this way. There we go. Let's get the light. But anyway, here we go. My apologies for moving this around. Just trying to get this to a point where, right there, the psychology, ideology of the trickster and his creation of an inverted society. Now, anyway, in this book that just got published by Blackstone Publishing, I talk about how this world is an inverted society. Everything is upside down. And in my other book, History, that just previously got published, Hidden History Declassified, I go into more or less what Jeffrey Sachs is talking about. And that is this. We have been led to believe that war is inevitable, that it's just the way it is. But this is a lie. And just to show you that it's a lie, and forgive me that I'm going to be moving the camera back and forth, because I haven't been able to figure out how to put this video into where I can show it on the screen, like when you see on podcasts. You see them, they're talking, all of a sudden they press some button, and when you're watching the TV, you can see what they're talking about off the computer. and I haven't figured that out. But if there's anybody out there that watches this video and knows how to do that and wants to help me out, please holler at your boy. So anyway, so I want to just point this out because I think this is very important for us to really understand. So here we go. I'm going to move the camera. Apologies again. And I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to play a few.
Fundamental problems. Fundamental. First is that despite all of this wealth, there is persisting profound poverty in the world. This is our most fundamental immorality. This poverty is not noticed. People live 20 or 30 years life expectancy less than in Taiwan or the United States, and it's not noticed how they die in mass numbers. Nobody in the rich world cares, virtually. In power, I should say. Many people care, but nobody in power cares. That's not their job. Their job is wealth and power. And I see this, and my wife sees this in our work in Africa.
Okay, now I want to pause that real quick. My apologies again. Let me bring it up to where I need to do on 20, 17, 18, 19. We'll go from here.
Analyst that I admire most in the United States, though I disagree with him basically, but he's a wonderful scholar and a wonderful human being, John Mearsheimer at University of Chicago, entitled his most famous book, The Tragedy of Great Power Politics. So the book is based on the idea that tragedy is the natural state of affairs, that there will be war because the international system is anarchic. And I say, John, how can we settle for tragedy? He said, Jeff, that's the reality.
Okay, now back to me. My apologies for moving the camera back and forth like this. I know it's probably a little frustrating, but don't worry, because I'm going to get it. Anyway, you heard him. He said, it's inevitable. You see, and this is the part about the Western mind that we must understand. This is what I'm talking about in the Trickster. You know, the world as viewed by the Europeans, as they understand it, is a world of order and chaos in constant conflict. Even their religion, the Catholic Church, Catholicism, is afflicted with the same disease. Their world is also based on order and chaos and constant conflict. And according to the church fathers, the soul and the flesh are incompatible, therefore they are in constant conflict. And we hear this all the time for those who really pay attention. But let me inform you, again, like I said, I'm going to get into this a little bit deeper and a little bit more in detail on the next video. This is just part one. That this is the tragedy that we as melanated people on the planet need to come to understand why things are the way they are today. Because we are living in a world that's been constructed for the by Europeans. Now I'm going to show this this video on the next one, but I'm just going to quote what he said. He said during the Chinese Silk Trade, the Silk Road, he said the Chinese went 2,000 years with no war, and he said internally, and then at the same time in Europe, for 1,000 years, Europe was with war. Like they warred for 1,000 years non-stop. Okay, non-stop. So now let's just give you a little, bring you up to date a little bit, because Iran has been in the news lately because the empire has been trying to attack Iran. They want to smash Iran, but that's another story. Another story for another day. But in that report, when they was talking about this, they mentioned something that caught my attention, and it was this: prior to the war that Iran had with Iraq, which was instigated by the CIA, who armed Saddam and Iraq to attack Iran because they wanted to smash Iran. And in that reporting, they said prior to that war, which was instigated, but prior to that war in the 1980s between Iran and Iraq, or Iraq against Iran, Iran has not been to war with another country in 200 years. So anybody that tells me that fool that war is inevitable is wrong. But the reason they believe that is again, it's because their worldview, their metaphysics, this is how they see the world. Everything is war. In fact, George Carlin, for those who don't know, the late George Carlin, comedian, famous comedian and social thinker, he said in one of his bits, he said, when two businessmen come together and they get ready to make a deal, the first thing that pops up in their mind is that I'm going to fuck this dude before he fucks me over. I'm going to fuck him over before he fucks me over. That's the first thing that comes to their mind. Because this is how they think. You see, the problem with the world is it's complex, but at the same time it's easy. And the easy part is they are operating on bad faith. Okay? If just look at it on an individual basis, on a macro level, on an individual basis. You know, if I tell you, listen, check this out, man. I got this car, and it's real good and everything, whatever. And you know, I'm selling it only $2,000. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? You buy the car, you know what I'm saying? You take it home. The next day, it just breaks down, and you come back. Oh, there's something wrong with it. I said, yeah, it's your problem. But all along, you knew that the car was messed up. You see, he was operating in bad faith. He was selling a car that he knew it was a piece of junk, but he told the person that was buying it that it was good. There was nothing wrong with it. That's what you call operating on bad faith. Okay, and they do this with everything. Okay, so let me see. I'm at 20. I'm at 12 minutes. Yeah, my bad. I'm just looking at the time. I'm trying to keep the time at a certain time. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the deal, you know. And further on in that documentary, I mean, in that little talk, he goes on. He goes on to describe the Western mind. You know, how everything is warlike, and he compares that with the Chinese people. And the reason he's doing this because, you know, China and America, you know, they're in the news now, in the news cycle, because America is falling and China is taking its place as a power. But the only thing about China, I have my criticism of China. I have my criticism of every country because nobody's criticism free. Even individuals, I'm not criticism free. But one thing about China, you can say that China rose to the power that it is at now, at this present time, without firing a shot, without firing one single bullet. So they rose to the prominence of world power without firing a shot. America, on the other hand, has been at war since it stepped foot here on Turtle Island, also known, or erroneously known, as the United States. So America is 30-something years old, 40-something, whatever. She's been at the war with she's been at war with her whole history. Her whole history she's been at war. So it's the way the Europeans think. So I believe the reason I wrote these books is because I want to try to articulate to young people, especially young people, because they are the future, that we must do away with this lie that peace is possible. And it's possible if you operate in good faith. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, you do it. If you're going to sell somebody a product, make sure that that product is good. Okay? And you know, you could, my queen is, you know, she's a perfect witness. Sometimes when I do my shirts, if it comes out a little slightly crooked, she's like, it doesn't look that bad. Excuse me. But I said, nah, I'll take this shirt for myself, because I'm not gonna sell people bullshit. I'm not gonna sell them errors and mistakes and bad work. You know. So if everybody operated like that, we have a better world. You know. So again, like I said, I'm gonna get more into depth into this into this little talk, and I'm going to get further deep into it because I think that this is going to be some information that that I know that is absolutely vital if we are going to change the condition that the world is in now. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Everybody's talking about climate change. First of all, there's no such thing as climate change. It's planetary destruction. But that and poverty and all this other stuff, all these ills, and they talk about they want to solve this, and they want to solve poverty. None of this is going to be solved as long as capitalism reigns supreme. And let me just quote Rebel Commander Fidel Castro. Is it in this one? Oh man. I'm trying to see if it was in this one. Okay, let me see. Okay, I got it. Here we go. I'm going to quote Fidel Castro. Capitalism has neither the capacity, nor the morality, nor the ethics to solve the problem of poverty. And that's from Comandante Fidel Castro of the Cuban Revolution. So again, I'm going to get into this deeper. And before I go on, I just want to, also say that, at the end of this podcast, at the end of each episode, I'm going to recommend some books. And, of course, I want to, shameless plug, I'm going to recommend my book, the latest one, the ideology and the psychology and ideology of the Trickster and its creation of an inverted society. Capitalism, The Crisis. I don't have that book in front of me, but that's the title. And Hidden History, History Declassified. But more so now, I want to introduce you to 3 volumes of books. First, book 1, and the title of each of them is called Murder Incorporated. Book 1 is by Mumia Abu-Jamal and Stephen Vittoria. Okay, so book 1 is called Dreaming of Empire. Here it is right here. Okay, Dreaming of Empire. That's book 1. Book 2, Murder Incorporated, America's Favorite Pastime. Book 2, America's Favorite Pastime, which I talk about in my book. I use that particular that line because I've always used it. But anyway, he used it, which is bombing. America's favorite pastime, and you can see the picture. Dropping bombs. That's our favorite pastime. Not just America, but Europeans in general. And book 3 is perfecting tyranny. And now remember, each book they run, besides the index, they run 387 pages. I think the book 2 is a little thicker. At least close to 400 pages each book. It's a good read. I'm on book 1. I'm in the middle of book. Let me see how far. Where am I in book 1? I'm halfway in book 1. And it's real deep. Real deep. So I suggest that you can check those books out. And in fact, if you want to order these books, go on prisonradio.org. And let me see, is it Prison Radio? Yeah, go to prisonradio.org and you can get all 3 books. I believe it was something like $30 for all of it. It's not even that expensive. And lastly, and last note, I just want to this is actually in tune with what I've been talking about for the past couple of minutes. We have here Kwanzaa 365 Live. We are putting together a writers symposium October 7th, 2022, and we're going to feature 3 authors. Myself, I'm one of the authors included. Brother Karaja Yashar and Sonia Bailey. Those are the 3 authors that are going to be featured. And I'm going to be talking about my book and this concept of an inverted society, and try to pass this information on to everybody. So I want to thank all you, my listeners out there, for tuning in, and spread the word again. Mash, and share that like button, and let everybody know that Grunt TV is back online, and we back doing what we do. And on that note, if I could just figure out where my thing is at, I'm a mess today, so don't worry about it. But you know what? This is all everything that I do is unscripted. So off the top of the dome, I have some notes, but it's usually just raw because I don't have to plan or plot how I'm going to be talking because everything I talk about comes straight from the heart. And again, I'm a human being, so I make errors too. So if ever I say something or make an error in something that I said, holler at me, check me, let me know. You know what I'm saying? And then if I feel that you're correct, then I'll correct myself and I'll come online and I'll correct myself and I'll tell the people. That's the deal. So on that note, peace and love. Don't forget October 7th in Davie, 365 Live. We're having a writer's symposium. The subtitle is A Journey with the Griots. So come check us. Tickets are $10. But if you want to jump in on the raffle, we have a purple ticket which costs $15. We'll get you in the door with everything, and you get a chance to win a prize through the raffle. Also, we're gonna have a bar, not an open bar. We're gonna have a bar. We'll have some wine, some beer, so we can relax. Dinner is gonna be hot. It's gonna be powerful. We got a DJ C'est La Vie's gonna be on deck on the ones and twos, and we got Cultural Expressions, Sister Sophia. And Jimmy Sophia gonna be doing her thing, and and we got brother IHE Blues and brother F Bomb on the mic for the poets, including myself, and we're gonna just share this information with the community. So hope to see you there. Peace and love.